By this point, most people are acquainted with Cloud Strife and his adventures on the original PlayStation. Or the PlayStation 4 now, depending on which version you're playing. Or maybe even the movie? Maybe? Be a little weird if you watched the movie before you played the game, but okay. But how many of you out there are aware of his adventure on the NES? Welcome to Popscurity, the show where I bring to light the rarest and most obscure oddities related to your favorite pieces of pop culture. And today we're going to be talking about the Chinese-produced demake of what might be the most iconic entry in the Final Fantasy franchise. Final Fantasy VII on the NES was developed by ShenZhen Nanjing Technology and released in China in 2005. Originally meant to be played on the SUBOR entertainment system, which is basically a clone console designed after the Nintendo Family Computer, or Famicom. While meant for the SUBOR specifically, it could easily be played on Japanese Famicoms, or even international NESs via an adapter. The game is actually a pretty faithful recreation of that original PS1 game. A lot of the main plot is there, but the side stuff, not so much. The two secret characters, Yuffie and Vincent, are non-existent in this version. And while it hits all the same story beats, where the game falls short is in its mechanics. Each character only really has one materia slot, though what materia is in there can be swapped out and replaced with others, just like in the original. And instead of using MP like pretty much every other Final Fantasy game ever, instead when you cast a spell, it uses a charge of the materia. And once that runs out, you can't use that spell again until you either get it recharged at a magic store or use some rather rare special items. That is significantly different than anything that we've seen in any other Final Fantasy game, but honestly, it's kind of a cool mechanic. I don't completely hate it. It's just not very Final Fantasy VII. Also, instead of using the classic active time battle system utilized in the original game, this NES version instead uses a simplified turn-based system more akin to the original Final Fantasy game. And it should be noted that this game just looks absolutely horrible. And I'm not just saying that because it's a game on the NES. Like, there are some really beautiful games on that system. This is not one of them. In fact, it might be one of the worst looking RPGs ever made. The sprites are just cobbled together recolors of sprites from previous Final Fantasy games, and not even that well cobbled together either. Like how Cloud here is just the warrior sprite from the first game with a bigger sword and really ugly yellow hair. However, in 2013, a guy going by the name of Lugia 2019 released a total overhaul of the game on romhacking.net. Lugia and his team spent about 4 years working on their mod, trying to get the game looking, sounding, and playing closer to that original PS1 classic. If you have any interest in this demake at all, I would highly recommend going with this version over the original Chinese release. Also, this overhaul is in English, which would probably be helpful for a lot of us. So that is the demake of Final Fantasy VII on the NES. Have you played it? What'd you think about it? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below, and while you're down there, why don't you click on that subscribe button, ring the bell, and also hit the like button. Either way, be sure to stick around here on The Collective because we got more great stuff coming. Just you wait. Have a good one.